everyone, it's Joe here, founder and chief encourager for All Heart NZ Charitable Trust. All Heart NZ came about really because of some interactions I was having, and I wondered if it was a problem. A friend of mine had a room full of stuff, and I said, "Oh, what are you doing with all that stuff?" And he kind of went, "Oh, I don't know, well, whatever." And I said, "Well, can I sell it, and can I give the money to a charitable trust that I was working with?" And he said, "Yeah, go for it." So I did, and I thought, well, I wonder if this is a problem. I didn't know at the time 83% of landfill was corporate and construction waste, but I went and visited some of the larger corporates, and I said, "Hey, look, what do you guys do when?" And I found that there was just thousands of items going to landfill that could easily be redirected to community good or to need out there. We got our first call from Rotary, as a friend at Rotary, and Air New Zealand had called Rotary and said, "Hey, we've got all this stuff, don't want to throw it away. Does anybody want it? Come and pick it up." So we went down and had a look at the stuff, and I said to Jules, who's our redirection specialist, I said, "Look, if you get it, I'll start a charity around this because I think there's some real need here. I think we can do some real good." And so we got it. Well, it was 5,000 items of stuff in the middle of an aircraft hangar down by the airport that Air New Zealand was leasing because they were trying to do the right thing with their redundant items. I've never seen a pile of furniture quite that big since. We redirected about 90% of it into community good. We raised, I think about $6,000 if I remember. That money went directly back into community good, which was awesome. And I thought, well, let's actually start this. Actually start contacting corporate, see if there's a problem, start helping them out, start helping them think socially and responsibly. We captured some of the stuff of where it went and who it was impacting and what difference it was making. One of the first stories we got back was actually of some pillows and blankets that we redirected. And they came out of a 5-star hotel in central Auckland. They went 45 minutes away to a social housing trust. And the next family they were putting in a house was a mum with her 3 kids. Her oldest boy was 9 years old. Now, I had a 9-year-old boy at the time. To be honest, I was quite numb to the fact that the mum was in her car. Like, we kind of hear those stories, I've seen it. And so I was a little bit numb. It didn't really capture me. But Linda then told me the story to say, the pillows you're giving, the 9-year-old boy has never owned his own pillow. And it broke me, man. It broke me. It's taken me a long time to tell the story without crying. And so our redirection service then started to get steam. Now you'll know, you can look at our website. We've redirected millions of kgs of unwanted stuff. We've supported hundreds of community destinations, all with these incredible stories. Part of it was to think, well, we've given this family this great blessing. We've given this community group these resources. But that mum actually needed a job. She actually needed an opportunity to have some mahi that gave her mana, that gave her purpose, so she could feed her tamariki. Some people had said, "Hey, why don't you start selling some of this stuff?" So we started All Heart Stores. All Heart Stores, as you now know, are up and down the country. It employs lots of people. Many of those have come from really tricky situations, and that's what the All Heart Stores exist to do: create employment, volunteerism, for those in our various communities that we can plant in. And so that's where our repurpose service was born. About 2 or 3 years into All Heart NZ, I started to engage with the modern day slavery movement and with procurement. So how are we buying our stuff? Where's it coming from? And I was faced with a little bit of a dilemma. And that was that if a 9-year-old boy in West Auckland received a pillow, but it was made by a 7-year-old boy in Bangladesh or China or somewhere else, All Heart NZ is still part of the problem and not part of the solution. So we launched Reduce, and Reduce looks at the ethical, sustainable aspects of procurement. It doesn't matter what people need, our corporates need, we're a one-stop shop. My staff felt it was worth just capturing that story because that is actually how our 3 services were born, through a lot of research, a lot of hard work, and now we have staff executing this all around New Zealand. But it started really just with these redirections of these pillows and blankets to a family that needed it, and a story that came back that just continued to bother me. But for now, that's our founding story. And 5 years on, we are All Heart NZ. We love corporate sustainability and community support. Thank you, everybody.